Today we're going to be exploring the New York City mayoral race. We have a crime-fighting Republican, a progressive newcomer, and a familiar face running as an independent. Hi, I'm Amira, and I'd like to dive into topics that fascinate, divide, and oftentimes chip away at my will to live. Today's topic is on politics, but not all of my deep dives will be on politics. This is a collection of different things that have piqued my interest and that I think are important to share with my fellow human beings. That being said, I am never trying to change your viewpoints or get you to vote a particular way. I will not be ranking these candidates in any way, and I always encourage you to do your own research. This is merely for educational purposes, but you should not be getting all of your education from a bop on YouTube, okay? So let's get started. First up, we have Curtis Sliwa. He is 71 years old and born and raised in Brooklyn. He currently is the host of his own radio show, Curtis Sliwa Live, but he is best known as the founder of the Guardian Angels. So who are the Guardian Angels? They're a vigilante group created in the 70s to fight crime in New York City, mainly on the subways. And of course, they're known for the red berets that you've probably seen Sliwa in a few times now. Fun fact, Sliwa actually admitted to staging some of the crimes for this group to get media publicity. One of the first crimes they staged was the returning of a wallet full of cash back to a church. Also, and this is true, he was shot 5 times by John Gotti, and he's pretty open about telling that story. Go ahead and take a listen to how he just casually throws it in during a recent debate.
Have you ever purchased anything in a cannabis shop? And if so, what did you buy, Mr. Mamdani?
I have. I have purchased marijuana at a legal cannabis shop.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo?
No.
Mr. Sliwa?
When I was shot 5 times, I've had Crohn's disease. I did use medical marijuana. Yes.
What is his actual platform? Sliwa is running on public safety as one of the main pillars of his platform. He'd like to hire 7,000 new NYPD officers, as well as increase their pay and benefits in an attempt to get new hires to join the team. Also repeal cashless bail. He's also in favor of opposing raise the age, or in other words, he supports charging 15, 16, and 17-year-olds as adults for serious or violent crimes. All right, so what about Sliwa's economic policies? He would like to lower the corporate income tax rate from the current 8.85% down to 6%. He would also like to offer employers up to $7,500 in tax credits per year for hiring new grads. In addition, he wants to repeal the City of Yes, create more rent-stabilized units for veterans and seniors, as well as eliminate property tax for any senior making under $250,000 a year. And finally, he would like to remove squatters' rights. Go ahead and listen to Sliwa explain how he plans on getting 6,000 NYCHA units back on the market.
If you're mayor, what are you going to do to solve the affordability housing and give these people homes so they could afford to live in New York and make this affordable?
6,000 NYCHA apartments are empty. NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority. Bronzeville, where I've spent the last 2 weeks, has more housing developments than any other section of the city. South Bronx has them. They're all over the city. And without public housing, which came about when LaGuardia was mayor, now Adams is in charge. De Blasio, remember, knew about public housing because he was the deputy to the HUD secretary when they were friends, Andrew Cuomo, in the days of Clinton. Is 6,000 of these apartments a warehouse? How could you warehouse apartments in NYCHA?
Is that a fact?
Yes, I go.
So
as
you're
you know,
saying that
I'm in
New
the
York
project.
City Housing Authority is warehousing apartments.
6,000.
For what reason?
Good question. I can't seem to get an answer from them.
Maybe they don't know they're on the market.
Well,
That wouldn't surprise me.
The guys and gals who...
All right, now for a man you've probably heard a lot about on social media, Zohran Mamdani. Mamdani is 33 years old, which in politics makes him practically an embryo. He was born in Uganda, but he's been raised in New York City since he was 7 years old. He was elected to the New York State Assembly in 2020. He's been endorsed by the likes of AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Ilhan Omar. And prior to running to mayor, he was a foreclosure prevention counselor. Oh, and one more thing, he's also a rapper. Take a listen.
Down for you. Hit the ground for you. Make a sign for you. Give a crown to you. Bow down for you. Hit the ground for you. Make a sign for you.
Go ahead, make a rap for your naughty.
It's a rap.
Get the guap, spin the rack on your naughty.
Spin the rack.
Come through, give a dab to your naughty. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your naughty. Go ahead, make a rap for your naughty.
It's a rap.
Get the guap, spin the rack on your naughty.
Spin the rack.
Come through, give a dab to your naughty. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your naughty.
Probably heard some of his policies already, specifically rent freeze. Donnie would like to freeze the rent on all stabilized units. That's about 50% of New Yorkers. He'd also like to build 200,000 affordable housing units over the next 10 years. He'd like to recreate and revamp the 311 system so that it's easier to report landlord violations. He wants to create an office of deed theft prevention to help homeowners avoid new age scams. And he'd like to end tax lien sale. Here's Mamdani himself talking about the rent freeze.
I'm freezing your rent as the next mayor of New York City. Let's plunge into the details. More than 2 million New Yorkers live in rent-stabilized units, and their rents are set by the Rent Guidelines Board. The board is made up of 9 members, and the mayor appoints each one. Doing this, Eric Adams' board has raised the rent every year he's been in office. Makes sense for a guy who said, "I am real estate." Currently, 8 of Adams' 9 appointees' terms are up and could be replaced tomorrow, and that's exactly what I would do. Rent freezes have happened before. De Blasio's board did it 3 times. I would do the same every year, only appointing those who understand that landlords are doing just fine. Last March, the board found that landlord incomes rose by nearly twice the increase of their expenses. The median income for a rent-stabilized household is $60,000 a year. Any rent hike could push them out of this city.
What about the rest of us? Go ahead and take a listen to Mamdani explain the rest of his housing plan.
As mayor, I'll build 200,000 new, permanently affordable, union-built, rent-stabilized homes over the next 10 years, tripling what we're currently set to build. Any 100% affordable project gets fast-tracked. No more pointless delays. We're going to unleash the public sector, but we're still going to need more housing. That means taller buildings near subway stations, upzoning wealthy neighborhoods, and eliminating the requirement to build parking lots. But we should guide these changes through comprehensive planning, not a piecemeal approach.
On to education. Mamdani is proposing free childcare for all New York City children ages 6 weeks to 5 years. He'd also like to increase the wage for childcare workers, offering free baby baskets to all new-time parents in the city. He also wants to launch Community to Classroom, a program that will help teachers with tuition assistance in exchange for a few years of work. And he wants to make school streets car-free. Go ahead and listen to Mamdani explain this platform on education and childcare a little bit further.
Here are some staggering statistics that show why this is such an urgent fight. First, more than 80% of families with children under 5 cannot afford childcare in New York City. Second, this also has a major cost to our economy. The lack of universal childcare has cost our city's economy more than $20 billion in the last few years alone. My administration will address this crisis by providing no-cost childcare to families with children as young as 6 weeks up until they're 5 years of age. To do this, we'll open more centers, using city space to open more centers, co-locating within the DOE wherever possible, subsidizing commercial rent, and easing the regulatory burden to make it easier to get permits. We will also make sure that all early childhood educators get paid a living wage, on par with DOE teachers. And we'll ensure that existing childcare providers have the resources they need to stay open, including streamlining the process so childhood centers are fully paid by the city and paid on time. We will also subsidize childcare at home for families who prefer to have a trusted neighbor or relative take care of their child.
About economics. Mamdani actually wants to raise the corporate tax rate from the 8.85% to 11.5%. He'd like to tax the wealthiest 1% of New Yorkers a flat rate of 2% and no bid contracts. He wants to hire more tax auditors for the city. He'd like to raise the minimum wage to $30 an hour by 2030. And he wants to redo small business applications so that it's easier for small businesses to get funded and started. To listen here to Mamdani explain that business proposal a little bit further.
First, we're going to cut fines and fees for small businesses by 50%. Regulations are important, but small businesses have to navigate more than 6,000 of them, with far fewer resources than the big chains. That's why as mayor, I'll appoint a mom and pop czar with the clear goal of making it easier to run a small business. $1,000 isn't a lot to our city government, but it can be make or break for a small business trying to get off the ground. Next, we're going to accelerate permits and applications. The mom and pop czar will coordinate with agencies to speed up turnaround times, cut red tape, and let New Yorkers start businesses sooner. Because you shouldn't have to fill out 24 forms and go through 7 agencies to start a barbershop. But most of all, we're putting our money where our mouth is by increasing funding for small business support programs with 500%. We're going to invest $20 million in our Business Express service teams, which pair small businesses with a city case manager that helps them navigate permits and regulations, as well as connecting them with programs that provide them with financial and legal assistance. Right now, only 3% of businesses are using these programs. We want that number to skyrocket.
And on the forefront of every New Yorker's mind is safety. So let's go ahead and see what Mamdani's plan is. For safety, he'd like to invest mainly in mental health outreach. This includes sending mental health professionals out with police to help de-escalate problems, specifically with the homeless, and deploying mental health specialists to over 100 subway stations in the city. I'd also like to expand and fund gun violence prevention programs. What about affordability? Mamdani wants to create city-owned grocery stores that will buy and sell food at wholesale prices. And before you freak out on that, New York City actually already has 6 of these that are currently operating.
I'm Zohran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you. They'll partner with small businesses and nearby farms and sell at wholesale prices. The job of
In addition, he'd like to make the buses free, ban non-compete clauses for businesses, and he vows to fight Con Ed utility price increases. What about that free bus program? Well, considered pretty controversial, Mamdani claims that this program will save commuters about 36 million hours, as well as generate $1.5 billion. Now for Andrew Cuomo. He's 61 years old, born and raised New Yorker, currently running as independent. He's the former governor. You'll probably remember all of his COVID controversies during that time period. In addition to those controversies are his multiple, 13 and counting, sexual harassment allegations. But let's give credit where credit is due. He did sign in same-sex marriage and pass some of the strictest gun laws in the country. His policy on housing, he is very adamantly against the rent freeze that Mamdani is proposing. Instead, talks about creative financing, plans to add 80,000 rent-stabilized apartments in his first 100 days as mayor. So he wants to offer incentives to landlords to put some of these rent-stabilized units back on the market. Go ahead and take a listen to Cuomo explain this a little bit further.
Rent-stabilized units, when they're vacant, should only be rented to people who need affordable housing, not people like Zohran Mamdani. You don't need to be renting rent-stabilized units to wealthy people. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're abusing the system. I'm going to propose not rent that apartment by law, except to a person who actually needs affordable housing.
Okay, now what about safety? Cuomo wants to hire 5,000 new New York City Police Department officers. He'd also like to add more benefits and offer incentives for any police officers who come back from retirement, to increase e-bike violations and fines. And of course, he wants to deploy more NYPD to the subways. Go ahead and listen here to Cuomo explain just how bad the subway system really is.
Our subway system, it was a visionary achievement, demonstrating New York at its best. government worked, and the subways were safe. But today,
shoved an older passenger down the stairs.
In critical condition after being pushed onto the subway track.
People stand with their backs against the walls, away from the tracks and away from each other, afraid they might be the next victim, afraid of New York at its worst. We need a significant presence of real police, not publicity stunts with short-term efforts. Whatever is necessary to make our subways safe.
Now, what about economics? Cuomo wants to give tax relief to homeowners, to expand bus and transportation discounts to veterans and seniors. He'd like to invest in infrastructure in New York City with, of course, union labor. Go ahead and listen to Cuomo talk here at an IBEW union event.
We are New York City, the home of the greatest labor unions in this nation, the greatest building force. And on election day, I need you to stand up, and I need you to go out, and I need you to make your voice heard. Because you are New York. You built New York. You represent New York. You understand New York, and you go out and you show this city who we are and what we believe.
Cuomo also really warns against Mamdani's tax plan, claiming that it will cause a mass exodus of the rich and business owners from New York City. Now, let's get into the criticisms of some of these candidates. First up, for Sliwa, if you've been on Reddit or any part of the internet, you've probably seen a lot of hate around the red beret. However, Sliwa says that if he is mayor, he might take that off. Take a listen.
So if that becomes the issue that prevents some people from voting for me, obviously I take the blame.
Can you take it off for us now?
Sure.
Wow.
Ain't not much up there.
In addition, Sliwa's group, the Guardian Angels, have been accused of using excessive force without proper investigation. Here recently, while Sliwa was being interviewed by Fox News, some of his group in the Guardian Angels apprehended a man they claimed was an illegal migrant and had been stealing. However, New York City Police Department later said that was untrue.
Guys have just taken down one of the migrant guys right here on the corner, 42nd and 7th, while all this is
Can you pan the camera?
They've taken over. They've taken over. You'd like the camera over there if at all possible.
Yep. Oh, you got your key open, guys.
He is out of control. Out of control.
So later, he was brought back for an update.
Well, he had been shoplifting first. The Guardian Angels spotted him, stopped him. He resisted. And let's just say we gave him a little pain compliance. His mother back in Venezuela felt the vibrations. He's sucking concrete. The cops scraped him off the asphalt. He's on his way to jail.
So according to the New York City Police Department, none of that is true.
So definitely not a great look. It should also be noted that Sliwa has been in some hot water for some anti-Semitic remarks he made about Orthodox Jews back in 2018. Though he has since apologized, it does still seem to follow him along this campaign. Let's talk about the criticisms of Mamdani. First up, of course, is his age and lack of experience. Many people claim that he will not be able to get it done as much as he wants simply because he doesn't understand how the mayor's office works. Mamdani has also been heavily criticized for his stance on decriminalizing sex work, though he makes the claim that by doing so, he will be able to not only help human trafficking victims, but will free up time, energy, and resources for NYPD officers to go after the real criminals and pimps.
I want to first be clear that I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution. And if you are happy with what's happening on Roosevelt Avenue, then you should vote for Andrew Cuomo, because his policy is to continue the exact same ones we've seen under Eric Adams. My policy is to actually take on sex trafficking, to have a zero tolerance for violence against women, and to follow the advice of district attorneys that we have here in New York City, the current Manhattan DA, the former Manhattan DA, the current Brooklyn DA, the former Manhattan DA having said that prosecuting women for prostitution is something that actually leads to less safety. And what we need to do is provide an economy
Mr. Mamdani,
of opportunity.
just a quick clarification. So no legalization, how about decriminalization?
I do not think that we should be prosecuting women who are struggling, who are currently being thrown in jail, and then being offered job opportunities. I think we should be actually providing those kinds of opportunities at the first point of interaction.
And of course, Mamdani's free bus plan has been heavily criticized, with many claiming it will lead to higher rates of crime. Go ahead and take a listen to Mamdani explain his stance a little bit further.
Can you explain how you will make buses free? You have 30 seconds to answer.
Absolutely. We will make buses free by replacing the revenue that the MTA currently gets from buses. This is revenue that's around $700 million or so. That's less money than Andrew Cuomo gave to Elon Musk in $959 million in tax credits when he was the governor.
The transit union, who does support Cuomo, has also stated that they are against Mamdani's free bus plan, citing the $50 million failed transportation experiment in Kansas City. And finally, Cuomo has also made the claim that Mamdani does not accurately represent the Muslim community. Take a listen.
I don't think in any way the assemblyman is representative of the Muslim community, which is a vital community in New York, and I am very fond of and I've been working with. I think he's playing his own politics. Many of his positions don't even follow the Muslim faith.
It took Andrew Cuomo being beaten by a Muslim candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Now for Cuomo. Mamdani and his supporters say that Cuomo's housing plan is ineffective at best. Go ahead and take a listen to the recent debate.
You've heard it from Andrew Cuomo that the number one crisis in this city, the housing crisis, the answer is to evict my wife and I. He thinks you address this crisis by unleashing my landlord's ability to raise my rent. If you think that the problem in this city is that my rent is too low, vote for him. If you know the problem in this city is that your rent is too high.
Cuomo has also been fined $675,000 for coordinating with super PACs. DOJ also found that Cuomo sexually harassed 13 women while he held his position as governor. And of course, we all know how many COVID scandals he went through. Also, while Cuomo was governor, rent went up 52% for New Yorkers. Not a great look for someone who's running on housing affordability. It should also be noted that despite who wins this election, it seems like New Yorkers will be facing a tax increase no matter what. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. This is my first deep dive here on YouTube. If you'd like to see a written out breakdown, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I just wanted to give you a special thanks. Thank you everyone who decided to listen to this and to show me any of the support. Give me feedback so that way I can make these better, please. All right.